let's get the disclaimer out of the way. I am not a kid-specific channel. I do not aim at them. And a lot of my videos will contain language that aren't really appropriate for them. So if you are if you're not a teenager or very sensitive to description of very gruesome things or naughty words, I advise you to click off this channel. I don't even know why you would watch this video personally, considering the topic I'm not even sure you would be aware of, but anyways, I'm just warning you, do not watch it if you are sensitive to naughty language or any gruesome material. There you go. And with the disclaimer out of the way, let's get into the topic. Not gonna lie, I was planning to make this video a long time ago. I just never knew how I could really talk about it. So I just decided to screw it and just cut to the point. And that point, of course, being SJW politics, or hell, world politics in general, do not work in fictional media. Unless if the fictional media is supposed to be referencing those, like the South Park, the Family Guy, and those types of series, whose entire thing is to make fun of the real world politics and these reactions. Outside of those, in fictional media, they should not be counted in. Why do people have a problem understanding that? No, I know, at the end of the day, it's all personal preference really, and you can make a counter argument and I'm kind of interested to seeing what you people think. But when it comes down to it, every way you look at it, real world politics, well, namely SJW politics, since that's the most prominent ones, do not work. And with that, let's just explain to you why. Let's start with characters. Characters are pretty much the most basic of knowing how they're gonna be. I mean, seriously, you want to complain about how Black Clover started out as cliche as how pretty much every other character? How? They even suggested to start out as every other anime character. Well, guess what? In those SJW politics, they are even worse. Since it's basically like you grab a check-up list and then you're like, alright, let's see, what character are we gonna have? Oh, we're gonna have a black woman? Main character or one of the most important characters or the character who is most likely always right. No matter what she does. White male? Is he a businessman or a hero? A businessman. He's evil. Well, he's evil like there's no good. He's pure evil. Like all the villains in the goddamn series, he is gonna be the villain. I mean, doesn't matter if every other character does far worse of a crime. If that character is not an evil white businessman, they are gonna be much better, and no matter what petty reason in the entire sense, they are gonna be more justified. Seriously, that's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Like, that checkup list, oh hell, it's a black male supporting character. He's gonna be the emotional love of the group, who'll be all about friendship and power, and not just to show, or the guy who ends up very much agreeing with whatever the women say. I mean, basically, that's what the characters are. It's basically like a checkup. It's just like a list. You just describe the character, what color of skin, what kind of sexuality, what kind of gender they're gonna have, and then you may add the job, what they're going to be, and it's basically like just it's basically like the very same, it's exactly same thing over and over again. Like, no nuance. So, yeah. Now, to the weird implications with these characters. Now, a lot of times when people make these very diverse group characters, they pretty much seem to reveal what they truly think in a weird way. Because if you look at it, they don't actually make them like representing the groups in a way you would like them to. They just basically like put a bunch of random diverse groups. Remember that diverse groups are still somewhat influenced on where to get the most money. They just grab those diverse groups and they throw them in, then just have them do stuff as long as it doesn't obviously portray them negatively, except one group, which are usually white males who are being portrayed like either racist for the sake of racist. We'll get into the villain and hero trope later. Racist for the sake of being racist. The butt of the joke to a point that you're even asking yourself, how do you function? Or just evil for the sake of being evil. Every other group may or may not have is a little more variant with there, but they're pretty much the same thing. Women, in some ways, they're the right guys, people in the right, and the heroic. Gay people, they are most likely going to be the main heroes, and even if they are villains, they will somehow be written so they'll be in the right. Like, it's just a weird implication. Because if you really think about it, you just expose your real how racist and sexist you really are. I mean, think about it. You are basically portraying one group negatively, completely. You never really portray them positively ever. Like, the most positive you portray them are the ones who are so stupid to a point where you're asking how they function in even a fictional world, or are basically just there to be like punched and being constantly saying, oh, you're an idiot. I mean, what the hell? Also, before you start saying, oh, it's because, you've got so much in the past with how positive your representation is, it doesn't matter now. Guess what? In the past, people did not focus on representation. They did not care about representation. And they had as many heroic white characters they had as many villain white characters. So basically saying it's because the past had so many heroes is stupid, because in the past there was also hundreds of white villains. These are usually the only characters who you do not race band to a point. I mean, really think about this. Let's look at Gotham High, that stupid idea by DC. Just see, what would I fucking smoking when they come up with that? I mean, let's think about it. You change Bruce Wayne to an Asian, which the only explanations that we are getting is because the writer is Asian. So that again so I guess that's something, but why? Like, previous writers never had that problem. I mean, are you seriously telling me that every writer of Batman's every comic that has ever been written has always been a white male, never a white female or black male or whatever other group you want to put in, like, always just a white male? I doubt that. I mean, seriously, I'm not sure exactly, but I'm pretty sure it didn't happen. See, Kyle, they changed into a black or a brown woman. Man, they changed Jim Gordon. We're gonna get into redheads. Jim Gordon into a black female. They changed Barbara Gordon into a black female. They changed Dick Grayson into a black guy. And as for the only villains they really kept to what they were originally were the villains. The only ones. You understand how having the only villain characters who aren't race changed or gender changed being the villains who are popular for that. Catwoman is more of an anti-hero, so she's kind of a flippy, but anyways, you basically change every single villain character, but no, you keep every single villain character, while every hero character is being changed to fit some kind of other group. Do I have to explain to you why that comes up as weird and racist? Especially when you claim you want to have representation, how you want to represent groups. I mean, if you represent one group negatively constantly, that's pretty much racism. I mean, you don't see people in the past portraying all the villains and only as African American. No, you see them being white, maybe a couple of Asian or African American villains, but hell, even if they do have that, they eventually come up with an African American or an Asian hero as well. So yeah, it's basically ridiculous. Also, has anyone else noticed the fact that every single red hat seems to be changed into a African American person? I mean, Ariel was changed into an African American person. That might have been changed by Disney, but who really knows anymore? From what I heard, there was no news about them changing. Barbara and Jim were changed into African American. Every final from 4 was originally a white, red the spear guy, but now was changed into a black person. But honestly, I think that was one of the earlier changes. In fact, even before we became so race and sex obsessed. And then, and MJ was changed into a black female. I mean, a bunch of, and I'm sure that you can name even more of them in the comments below. Of every time they changed a red hat into a African American person. Again, does that no one see how hypocritical it is for then to a person wanting to be African American? For the person to be saying how we want to present a group. I mean, you're basically representing one group very negatively, or you change a group. You know, they make no sense. Seriously, why exactly was Kaiser spell changed into from a red hair to a normal woman with a black hair? Was there any reason why? So yeah. The whole representation of groups in characters really only show if you are truly racist or not. Because you represent one group the same way. Now let's go to the goddamn stories, which are just even worse. Alright. Every story when it's being written this way, it's always pushing a narrative. It may be a more subtle, but it's clearly forcing it. For example, every time that in one of these cartoons, there are characters who are referencing President Trump, always speak to him about him to him like whenever the character says something, one of his lines, it's always gonna be pushed in the most evil way you can, even if the contexts are completely different. Look at you, Young Justice and Free, trying to make the goddamn royal family problem the same as Charlottesville. Ridiculous. No one with a brain, or at least aware of Charlottesville, would actually say that's a negative for Trump. Seriously, every time and that's not just for the reference in Trump, they do that like always. Whenever there's a narrative like, oh, we must not use guns are the problem. You never see them like bring up, no one or ever coming up with the fact that, wait, we're using normal sticks and batons and shields against people who knows what kind of a gun they could be using. Like that never gets brought up. Every time that like leaders build bridges, not walls. Like every time they push it, they never reference some kind of a contradiction or anything. They always say these are not the same politics we agree with, meaning they are wrong, and we have to make stories who are literally making them only bad because that's what they are doing. So yeah. Also, one thing that's even weirder in these types of stories is that, weirdly enough, these things that they represent wrong even sometimes come off as the right thing to do. I mean, when you think about it, let's look at Ruby for example. Robert Hale is supposed to be this progressive hero of mentor who knows what's best for it and wants to help no matter what. Yet, if you really think about it, everything, Jacques is the one that's more likely to do stuff. I mean, as soon as he became a president of Mental, he wanted to kick out Ironwood and use the whole blocking dust and all as an example. And as soon as I would be out of the picture, he would vote on opening the borders so they could all go in and out, so he could continue the mental thing. Which also, why the heck did he close the shops? So yeah, in a weird way, every time that they do this, it comes out weirder. Hell, let's look at Star Wars: The Last Jedi is even better example. Apparently, Holo had this great plan, yet no one really knows what the hell the plan was until the very end, for what seems to be no real reason. So yeah, whenever these stories are being written with their policies in mind, they're either as blatant or as subtle as being hit with a giant hammer on the head with the words subtle being on the hammer, and whatever leaves, and when you remove the hammer, subtlety is left in the ground, or in some weird ways kind of pushing for any other logical sense, the other policies making more sense. It's just stupid and ridiculous. Also, one thing you know is that I'm more focusing on one side of politics than the other one, and that's because the other side of politics rarely has any kind of really specific types of uses in the media. Which, let's remember this, all you people who say how, oh, we are being about something, pretty much every single one of the people that have influence, except maybe a tiny percent, and when I say tiny, I mean like one news station to your 5 or 10 or 6 or however many you have, is pushing pro your parts policies. So yeah, do not act like this is some kind of horrible thing. So yeah, the characters are pretty much, honestly, the best characters are completely horrible, with the only likable characters being liked because of ironic things like, oh my god, you know this character's not gonna get much to do except being an idiot, but even the actor doesn't really care anymore. Like, he's clearly just giving the page, he's giving up a performance. It's like, that's like, alright, I'll perform this. Oh, la 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 la. Okay, I've done it. Give me the paycheck. Bye. Like, that's basically the most entertaining characters in some of these stories. And as for everyone else, it's just ridiculous. Like, they make no absolute sense, except in a sense that, oh, we are pushing progressive narratives or something. Some kind of a narrative, even if it makes no fucking sense. I mean, seriously, also, what the hell is up with this misunderstanding of already existing characters with these people? I mean, think about it. Every time, for example, let's take Harley Quinn, for example, or Captain Marvel, both of them really work. Why do these, in fact, let's work with Harley Quinn because let's make the other point later. Let's take a look at Harley Quinn. This character was first a TV series only, whose episode, I don't believe she even had her character look. I think she was just disguised as a police officer. And yeah, not only that she became one of the best characters one of the best villains in Gotham, in Batman's world. In fact, you can make a claim that she is the best villainess in Gotham, since Catwoman is more of an anti-hero. Well, then the only argument is in Poison Ivy, but I'm pretty sure Harley Quinn is by majority of people considered to be the best one. And in reality, the entire DC universe, I'm failing to find any woman that could really beat her. Like, she is on the seat of the best. Like, if she's not the best, she is either the second or the third. Like, there is no debate. One of the best female villains in the entire series. Granted, they've been trying to make her give a more anti-hero, which take that as you will. but she's supposed, but and her one of her episodes is one of the best in the animated series. So why the hell are you using her as the narrative for women, female villains are unfairly treated and we need more of them? My dear, you started out as an animated series only. A way that a lot of characters don't really last after their runs. I mean, look at Baby Doll. From what I heard, that villainess was only there for 2 episodes. Hell, even villains who do come from comics and become animated aren't really that popular. So why are you using this whole narrative with Harley Quinn if she has already became like one of the best villains in the entire series? It makes no motherfucking sense. And then let's go to the whole narrative regarding Marvel. They apparently think that having those characters defeat characters who we already like, and one of the main aspects we are eventually gonna bring up is how they are powerful. Guess what? If you had those characters beat the other ones in a battle, that's not gonna make us like them. I mean, characters in Black Clover are more powerful than characters in My Academia, but doesn't mean I'm gonna like characters in Black Clover more because they're stronger. I'm still gonna like the characters in My Academia more. So yeah, even if you have your Captain Marvel be the strongest hero out there, I'm not gonna like her more. If anything, I'm gonna hate her more, because if you're this powerful, why don't you just like beat every threat? Like, why is this random world conqueror problem if you could just beat him, if you're just gonna beat him easily? Like, really, where's the conflict? Like, what the hell is this thing? Also, ever since these politics have came into play, it seems like the whole villain versus hero storylines are becoming just bad. Like, villains, for me, like the idea of all these evil masterminds all working together for one goal, to defeat the heroes, to win with an iron hand, is now being reduced to a convention and something that seems more like a meeting between old friends than anything where, oh shit, we're doomed. I mean, have you seen the twins and Harley Quinn show? The level of ridiculousness or non-seriously they took the whole Legion of Doom thing there is ridiculous. So, and then their heroes are just being idiots for the sake of idiots. I mean, when you think about it, why the hell does a hero that could find a solution or basically solve the main problem as soon as possible not come into play? I mean, are you seriously telling me that Philo Matthews from the One to Its comic, they couldn't get a job in Wayne Enterprise or what's I'm blanking on Green Arrow's name right now, but are you seriously telling me Oliver Queen? Actually, yeah, Oliver Queen. So are you seriously telling me there was no real branch in Metropolis? Or hell, was there really no way for him to like work from Metropolis to Gotham or Green Arrow's respective cities? Hell, are you seriously telling me there was no way to like just get a job there and then, I don't know, moving to Gotham so you can work there? I mean, was there really no way? I mean, are you seriously telling me that the only solution was Lex Luthor for the only non-racist person in the entire goddamn business? So, yeah, it's ridiculous. So anyways, these are my opinions on the whole SJW politics in cartoon media. Again, I want to know what your opinions are. What do you think? Do you disagree with these? Do you want to put an extra point? Do you want to explain it to me why it's not a horrible, I'll go on forever, but does anyone here want to watch someone saying horrible ideas over a billion times? But yeah, they are horrible ideas. There's, again, tell me in the comments below. And that's it. I hope you liked this video. I hope you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. That's it. I cannot wait to see all of you people next time. Bye.